everybody, hello again. Today we're going to talk about 7 best British novels of all time. And I think it's one of the most reasonable things to talk about because Britain, with its artists from Shakespeare to John Lennon, it is actually the core of Western civilizations. It's not just literature, it's not just art, but the whole idea of Western civilizations are actually born from British literature. And British literature, within its novels, has authors like Charles Dickens, Virginia Woolf, George Orwell. So it is quite a history. And I tried to list up like 7 novels that are really accurate about British history and will make you bond harder and easier with this country. So let's start. First one, Middlemarch by George Eliot. This one is one of the most quintessential epic stories of British realism, and also it's a cornerstone for feminist literature. It is about a woman facing hardships while her remaining really strong. The second one is Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe. I mean, love it or hate it, this adventurous icon has become an iconic novel in history, and it's also by some critics known as the first incarnation of the modern stories, modern novels we know today, and its impact in British history as a classic is incontrovertible. 2, The Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. To be honest, Virginia Woolf's all major works should be in this list, and it's very hard to choose between them. The reason this one, The Lighthouse, is listed here is that I think this one is the most accurate one to show Britain's transition from a higher cultural consciousness. Heart of Darkness, Joseph Conrad. Joseph Conrad himself was a Polish-British author, but this work of his is particularly very unique and very British. 1984 by George Orwell. So George Orwell is himself a legend and all of his works are legendary. But this one is particularly about the politics, and this book is particularly about telling that Britain is not and was not and will not be immune to extremist politics. Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift. This is one of my personal favorites. This is one of the books that made up my childhood and made me understand a lot of metaphors in a different way. This book is just written right after Robinson Crusoe, right 7 years after Robinson Crusoe. And in this book, because Jonathan Swift was from an Anglo-Irish family, his perception of British politics was quite unique. And the way he's criticizing the culture is quite unique as well. Everything it looks like a childish story, and it's surrounded with symbols and metaphors, and that's what is making it such a legend and a masterpiece of cultural criticism. And by the amazing Charles Dickens, The Great Expectations. When you're talking about Charles Dickens, you don't know which novel to choose. Honestly, if you don't read anyone, and if you want to read someone, read Dickens. To pick up this specific novel, I checked out the BBC Culture list of best British novels, and it was talking about Great Expectations, and it was saying the most quintessential British novel of all time. It was the 4th of the list. The Great Expectations is what you see and need to hear about first impression about British history. This is my personal opinion. And by Charles Dickens, you can go into his world and you can never even get out because it's so wide and it's so extraordinary. And it is also very sophisticated and rich in language, so you will never ever get bored of Charles Dickens. I hope you have, and if you haven't, I hope you will read all these novels, because novels are sometimes a reminder to all of us that in some thoughts we're thinking or in our imagination that we are not alone. People have been through so many great things and left masterpieces to help us guide ourselves. So start with these novels if you haven't read them. Start with Charles Dickens and then go to Jonathan Swift. I'll see you in the next video of Londonist. Take care, guys.